All right, Carlos Jesus on Reanimator versus Saul Blanco on Depths. These are like the top two semifinalists. Reanimator, who previously beat Delver, and Depths that just defeated um the Blue Black Death Shadow deck. So yeah, but all tempo decks eliminated. So what what about this matchup, Julian? This is
I think in the first game, okay. So here's the thing: in the first game, if Reanimator gets to do what it wants to do, there's almost nothing Saul can do unless he's, I guess, on the play and has like a crop rotation for Butchugaborg and Carlos goes. Like, you know, how there's like subsets of subsets of subsets. And there are a couple of those where Saul wins when like both players have a decent hand. Other than that, like if both players struggle, anybody can win. But especially in the first game, like it's probably like very much in Carlos' favor. After sideboarding, we'll
yeah.
take a look at the deck lists when we get there. And Saul, yeah, it's kind of rough. I think Saul was fifth place, so he might actually be on the draw. Well, we will see. We will see. If he's on the draw, he's in big trouble.
Hmm.
Because that hand by Carlos actually looks pretty good, right? We see a Faithless Looting, we see some creatures, we see some mana.
Yeah.
There might also be some kind of reanimation spell.
Good. And Saul knows that Saul sees that Carlos is on a keep on 7, and every time, like whenever I play against against Black Red Reanimator and they keep a 7, I'm terrified. I did.
As you should.
Yeah,
As
as
you
I
should
should.
be.
Yeah, that is like one of the like scariest decks in Legacy. They can kill you as quickly as like it, technically they don't kill you, but they can put a big creature like Archon of Cruelty or Grizzleman on turn
Yeah.
on turn
Oh,
on turn one.
that's an endurance. Okay. Endurance being present, that somewhat changes things. That also might like entice Saul to, try his best. Just you got an answer if your opponent wants to go all in. Carlos, probably in no big hurry, right?
Not
Like
really.
the depth deck is,
The
unless they have like an insane start with like Mox Diamond and stuff, and like probably something like Yavimaya,
um
then they can make a turn
oh wow.
2, 3-ish token, but just Wasteland. Honestly, if you see just Wasteland go,
But
what makes you think?
yeah, well,
That makes you think
they
endurance,
have
right?
they have at least 4 endurances in hand.
If
Yeah,
not seven.
yeah. You know what? The best turn one play on South side would have been a turn one Elfish Reclaimer that can get Bojuka Bok on turn 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, Wasteland Go. It's kind of
But the
lukewarm.
thing is, in the first, like we talk about the advantage Carlos has in the first game. If Saul actually goes for Reclaimer on the first turn and the turn comes back to him because
Yeah.
Carlos didn't reanimate, then what is Carlos going to do
Oh,
about the Reclaimers or
yeah,
sideboard
he's in
cards?
a prime
He's in trouble then.
oh yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
this didn't happen this game, but I mean, just saying. Okay, once again, a little awkward. How many cards do you have? How many endurances do you have? Yeah, and Carlos even has like a discard spell. He's got Unmask. Walroth's face being removed. Animate that pitched, and what are we gonna take
It's like
here?
how many endurances do you got?
Yeah, this is.
Not many. Not many.
So what actually what else do we see in Carlos hand here? We see like at least two Faithless Looting. Yeah, and it's going to be difficult.
I get that bad boy out of here.
Honestly, yeah, I was gonna say the mace can be annoying, but not really. Like you can like get Grizzlebrand, or even if you get just Archon, Archon still like makes you discard cards, draw cards, and everything. Yeah, endurance gotta go. So let's say Saul actually ends up hitting a land like a green source here. You go for Reclaimer, right? Send it for Reclaimer. That's where you want to go.
Yeah.
Very
That's
much.
probably. Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. I guess it's still. Maybe. Hopefully, it's not too late. Plan B is maybe to get a free win with like a Merit Lage. Maybe if that ever happens. Tiger's a good pickup.
Oh, dude, Soul
Tiger's
is really good
yeah.
with this
Tiger's
game.
a Tiger's a supreme pickup.
I mean, you probably would have loved a Savannah even more, considering you get Swords of Plowshares. Yeah, but Tiger, we will take those. Interestingly, though, did you notice Carlos did not go for Faithless Looting?
Yeah, I saw that.
Probably like it's
Is there like an
might be his
end of
only land.
um?
Yeah, that's probably it, right?
Yeah, like Carlos probably doesn't want to expose his lands to the wasteland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like if he goes for badlands, that's kind of rough. You know, he doesn't have a second land, and yeah, like Soul doesn't really represent any clock. Now he does because Bok is active next turn.
Hmm.
So we might see an attempt to yeah, to get an Archon of Cruelty or something along those lines into play.
I mean, it's kind of. I can see the reasoning. Like the idea is right. You go for the faithless looting, and you want to pick up a land of that. And with that land, you will hopefully be able to reanimate right away. So you can do it all on the same turn, not like pass the turn with a creature in your graveyard, and then like Saul might randomly pick up a Chukabog. Probably not. That's probably not the reason. Okay, there's Dark Ritual. We pick up an Atraxa, but is that still no extra lands? That'd be rough. Get rid of one of the Archons of Cruelty. What's better? Two Archon of Cruelty. And no, oh my god. No land. And
Oh
we
my,
are about to be wastelanded here, like
oh my
into
goodness.
hell.
Yeah. Don't know if Wasteland is the best play. Okay, now that we picked up a second land, this is insane. Whoa, is
So I might actually take this.
Saul is doing it. Saul is
I'm
doing
loving
it.
this.
Oh my goodness. This is insane. I think like a minute ago, like Carlos was such in a good position.
Yeah, it looked pretty good for him, right? No
Yeah,
mana
but
on Saul's side, no colored mana, no protection. It's just like the Faithless Looting just like
yeah.
couldn't come up with another land. And now, yeah, Unmask is okay, but we don't really care. I guess we, I don't even know. I guess we take the Swords to Plowshares. You could also take the Romrock Excavator because that's gonna make it harder for us to like get another Badlands and like make it stay. But I guess we're not winning that game anyway.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be like reclaimer control from now on. Like you basically threaten Bojuka Bog at all times,
Hmm.
and once the coast is clear, you go for one end step, Thespian stage. You can do it now if you want to. Get that stage ready, and if Carlos does anything funny, then it's gonna be bog time, and if not, then we slowly build up for this merit age. Dude, I'm impressed by Saul. I'm impressed by Naya Depth being in a commanding position here.
So there's one way Carlos can still do this, even through Reclaimer. That's a classic thing where you know the trick, right? Where you go Exhume, they remove your Gravehead, and then after that has happened, Exhume is still on the stack. You go for Entomb. That's a
Oh
classic
yeah.
way that they get around like
Okay.
one piece of Gravehead hate.
Dude, I totally expected you to say something like, okay, yeah, triple Dark Ritual into Crystal Brand or something like that.
I've had that happen. People have done
Yeah,
that to
because
me.
that would have been like my suggestion, you know? Oh my god. Oh, are we doing it right now?
You're going for it.
Dude, Saul just he's not messing around, yeah.
Yeah, and that Carlos probably didn't expect to
Damn.
lose this one after that early unmask. But
This
yes,
is yeah, this is insanity.
after a horrible opening for Saul, he's
Saul
coming
on
back.
the mulligan to 6 with Carlos on a confident 7.
Dude, he's really selling this deck very well. I kind of want to play. Can I trade my painter deck for depth? Or maybe I just get another
Yeah,
one. That
Depths looks insane here. And it's also very beautiful.
take 20.
I can't
Any
believe
questions?
I
Next
can't believe
game.
I'm saying this as a Doomsday player, but yeah,
I think your future lies in Reclaimer. You
it might
just don't know
it
yet.
might it might.
So yeah, now Carlos actually has to win. I mean, if you don't take the first game, the two sideboarded games are probably going to be a lot harder. So let's see what he's got there. Can we put the deck list
Yeah,
on stream? I was going to say on
yeah,
stream.
we needed that list, especially we need both, but I'm curious what kind of graveyard hate Saul brought to the table today,
Mhm.
and what plan B's Carlos has. Did you see a couple of show and tells in the sideboard? That's
Looks like he's not
all
bringing them
right.
in.
Yeah,
Oh, there's a silence in there as well. We don't really.
that's
I guess
interesting.
silence can still like go after endurance, but yeah, yeah.
Man, I'm curious how good these show and tells are versus Wasteland Pyroblast deck. Let's see.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 2 Oakish Bowmasters, 3 Doughty Voidwalker, 2 Serenity, 2 Fatal Push, 4 Show and Tell, 1 Silence, 1 Grafdigger's Cage, and 1 Wear Tear. What do we like here?
Honestly, not that much. I guess Grafdigger's Cage is okay if you want to fight over the Zenith, but even actually no, Grafdigger's Cage is wait, whoa. Grafdigger's Cage is part of the show and tell. Like you almost got me there.
Yeah.
We bought a Grafdigger's Cage as the Reanimator deck. Sure, Junior, let's try. Let's shut off the Green Sun Zenith. So yeah, I guess it only really makes sense if you go for the show and tell package, which we've already seen Carlos probably not gonna do. So I guess Fatal Push. Is it Fatal
Maybe.
Push?
Fatal Push on Reclaimer is some way to dodge Bog. You can also Fatal Push on a Knight of recurry if you want to.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of skeptical with those show and tells, right? Because on the one hand, it dodges all the Bojuka Bog endurance nonsense from Saul's side. On the other hand, this is 3 mana is a lot versus a wasteland deck, right?
It is. And the one thing that scares me
Hmm.
is we could just allow Saul to make the combo at the end of turn we didn't expect it to.
Oh
Right?
yeah, yeah. Saul can pretty much just put
Especially
a
between
dark
like
depths into play. Yeah.
especially between like crop rotations and stuff, there's a good chance he could do that. So Saul's side, he's got 2 endurances in the main, one more endurance in the sideboard. That's one's definitely coming in. I could see deafening silences coming in, especially on the play, maybe on the draw as well. Fairy Macabre definitely. Gaia's Blessing is funny. You can actually use that to counter a reanimation spell. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can do that.
it's not awful.
Yeah. Seeds of Innocence, no. Surgical, yes. Tower of Megastrat.
Megastrat.
Yeah, no.
Um,
Uh, I mean, it's kind of funny because Saul doesn't really know whether the show and tells are going to come in.
yeah.
So
He knows about them though.
yeah, but he doesn't know whether
Yeah.
whether they come in. So he could be like Red Blast or non Red Blast. So that's going to depend on what you set out.
Yeah.
What do you take out here? Like
It
Minsk and Boo, I guess.
I think you can cut a lot of stuff. I think you can go a little like lower on mana maybe because your mana doesn't get attacked. Ram Excavator looks pretty embarrassing in this matchup. Maybe you can shave a few cards here and there and make it so that you can fit in all the blasts because blasts also do kill Atraxa Grunt Unifier. It's not the best way to deal with it, but if
Okay, you're saying this is like some marginal extra value that maybe might put you over
yeah, like
the
if
hill?
I was
Like
like
yeah, okay.
if I was Saul, I would do my best to cover all angles. That's what I'm saying, right? Like if you have the Red Plus ready and you know your opponent has potential 4 show and tells post sideboard, I would probably do anything
Just that. Yeah,
to stop Reanimator.
yeah. That's actually
And
a good
yeah,
point.
Saul might be like crippling his whole deck a little bit and might have to shave a few cards that are really normally really good, such as like Minsk and Boo, but maybe Minsk and Boo really
It's
isn't.
so slow though.
It's really slow,
Yeah.
yeah. And
By the way, Carlos did bring in the show and tells.
well,
He saw
eh,
like
there
initially
you
he
go. Yeah,
looked like he didn't, but I just saw while he was shuffling. I actually saw a show and tell
yeah,
in
it's
them,
not awful.
and I bet it's not going to be a one-off value show and tell.
Eh,
So yeah, let's check this out. Reanimator on the play is always a scary machine. Like oh god, dude, seriously, he has
so
almost anything he needs. You know what I want to see? Maybe
like,
we just like animate Nitro Liquor on the first turn. Discard,
yeah,
take
yeah,
it.
this hand is capable of doing that. I don't think there's a way to get a cheetah and to get a cheetah into the graveyard to cheat a fatty into the graveyard.
Yeah, Alex Bertocchini not hitting the great.
Yes.
Officially banned from Spain, maybe even Impact
Yeah.
Returns, who knows? By the way, we just heard we are broke 300 viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. When
Yeah.
I say this, I actually mean it. Me included, until I came here, I had no idea how many people are actually working on this. This is Galicia. This is like not the center of the universe. It's on the edge of Europe. It still puts out the second biggest legacy event in Europe of the year. And that's just from people from here. I guarantee you, next time we're going to break 200, much more international people all over the place coming to here and just having the greatest time of their life. In the last 2 days, I basically fell in love with this place. I've been mostly commentating Legacy throughout the last couple of days, but just like the people, the atmosphere, culture, cuisine, like food is through the roof. And as we sit here, like every 2 hours, somebody brings us like new food. Hey, try this, try this. They even got me agua con gas, sparkling water. Like as a German, I cannot exist without sparkling water. And people are like, yeah, sure, take it, take it. You got to like. I think I've depleted all the sparkling water reserves of Naron. So shout outs to the city of Naron, sponsor of this event.
Thank you.
Shout outs to Eldritch Gate, another sponsor of this event. Card Market, Willy Bizarre, Ultimate Guard. Am I missing somebody?
Oh, you're not
Everyday Eternal.
yeah, the Fringe podcast. Yes.
The Fringe
So
podcast.
some Fringe podcast.
Somebody's out there. Yeah, somebody got to think of them. They also sometimes do stuff in Legacy. So thank you so much, everybody. Hit the follow button. Tell all of your friends, all of your enemies about this, and make them watch the semifinals and the finals still coming up later.
Again, like the whoever loses this match is still gonna get a Bayou as the prize, which is insane. And the winner goes to the finals, and the winner of this whole event, goes home with 3 copies of Underground Sea. The finalists with 2 Tundras. Like those prizes are real, And I love it when every time I see like dual lenses prices, and you can't really do it very often these days because the prices have changed quite a bit in the recently. But um man, like winning a dual land in a tournament is it is so old school to me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
right.
it yeah, you just don't do it very often these days.
By the way, if you're tuning in right now, this tournament allows proxies. We allow 10 proxies. We know it's not that easy to get the legacy decks of your the deck of your dreams together, so you can do that here. And that's a very big movement. That's like all across Europe these days. I
Mhm.
think it's even like making its way to other continents. Like allowing proxies just so we can play Magic with more players. I absolutely love that. I'm all for that. And that's part of the reason why I want to promote this tournament even more. Impact returns. Put that into your calendar for the next year. It's probably going to be around the same time of the year, and yeah, they will announce it on at Impact Returns One on Twitter. By the way, they also have a homepage. Is that still a thing? Like people having homepages? For
No,
example, our podcast has like, I mean, we don't really have a homepage. Like we have it's tuned.com, which is the biggest mess of a website
I
ever.
mean that
Yeah, okay. I see Kai is like trying to like agree, politely agree, but okay, I can see
it's
that.
it has an URL. You know, anything that has an URL is a homepage
It
to
doesn't
me.
even have a new. Yeah, we have everyday minus eternal.com, but it's been under maintenance for 3 years.
Uh-oh. Hmm.
So what's going on
Yeah,
here?
so players aggressively mulliganing, and I can totally understand um the reason behind this, right? Like Saul,
Oh, Saul got the. Sorry to interrupt you. Carlos actually got the turn one reanimation,
he
but
got the turn one reanimation, but it's a complete naked
yeah,
reanimation, right? Like there's no way to check Saul's hand, and Saul, as we saw earlier, like and there are multiple endurances. There's a fairy macabre, there's a surgical extraction, and I would not be surprised if Saul mulligans down to a hand that has one of those cards, we just mentioned.
by the way, I like Outland Liberator. I think we are sending it back, or maybe Saul is gonna keep it. It's another way to deal with Animate Dead. And
Yeah.
you know how you can like proactively deal with Animate Dead? It comes into play, it triggers, you kill it, it never reanimates something. So yeah, that's just like a nice little plus EV that you can do with the deck. And do you think Carlos is gonna go for it? I mean, what's his long play if he doesn't?
I think I think if I'm Carlos, I would totally go for it.
Yeah.
Like and make them have it. Like if they have it, they have it. Carlos is probably like, oh, it's I'm sorry, this is a Bounty Voidwalker.
Oh, are we just like trying to race here? I mean, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
maybe.
Uh
I don't hate it. So we put something into the
yeah,
graveyard.
I don't hate it either, but I don't know if I love it.
No, yeah, I see that. The thing is like if you get wastelanded here, the idea is that our clock is gonna be really fast. And if our Doughty Voidwalker
Dude,
gets out to plowshare, then
I
there's a chance that we just like reanimate next turn. But I think that's
yeah,
animate
I
dead.
I would snap off that wasteland and just don't care about Doughty for
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's a 7-turn clock.
Practically most of the time more like a 6 turn clock. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Technically it's
Man, if this is all Carlos got, and so if Saul is sitting on another like surgical or endurance or any of those graveyard hate cards, then
I don't think Saul actually had any turn one interaction. Yeah. He was actually also sitting there naked.
oh wow,
As we just realized. Somebody get those guys some clothes.
yeah.
Both players playing naked. Looks like Carlos actually picked up an unmask, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not going for it yet.
patience, yeah, patient.
Senate, Reclaimer, maybe? No, Reclaimer's gonna stay really. I mean, you could still get Reclaimer, even though it's gonna be small all the time, basically. Asking a question away from the table to the judge, I would guess.
Yeah, I wonder what that question is. Maybe he's asking if the silver library goes back to the library or if it
Maybe
goes
he's a
into
question about
exile. Maybe.
Circle of Protection Shadow. Dude, that card would actually be nuts here.
It's even castable,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
You
right.
can cast it and activate next turn.
With how much damage Voidwalker has been doing over the entire tournament,
Oh
I
my
mean, it's
goodness.
very justified.
Yeah.
This far, the only, I think it was a Rune of Protection that made its way into a Legacy top 8 of a cheapie was red. Shadow could be next. I was actually, like, for a second, I was
Yeah.
wondering, was there actually a Circle of Protection Walls? And then I realized how stupid the question is actually on, like, so many levels.
Oh yeah.
But there, yeah, we will
Yeah.
see.
Imagine if Saul had like borrowing 100,000 arrows
Oh,
now.
you know what's actually, what he's actually wondering?
Huh?
He's wondering where the Senate goes.
Oh, that yeah, that's exactly what I said, right?
Oh, sorry, I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
So I think the question was like, does the Zenith go in the great in
He just
exile
yeah, 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 yeah,
or
you're
does
right,
it
you're
go
right.
in
You
the
said that.
library? But I don't think it ever touches the graveyard. So
Yeah. But yeah, this is basically what I was wondering, right? If you say, okay, my opponent's gonna wasteland me, my clock is just gonna be
yeah.
faster.
Now check this out. So the unmask on Saul is interesting because if there was any haymaker, such let's say like a Minsk and Boo, Carlos could have casted it,
Oh, true, true.
right, and get back into the game. Unfortunately, like the hand was all spells, like all interaction spells.
Kind of awkward
Man,
position for Saul.
dude, yeah
I mean, he
I
can try and assemble the combo before the Doughty Voidwalk actually kills him. I think that's the idea. It's just so slow that it might not actually do it.
like yeah. Let's find out. It's not crazy to leave in the Maze of Ith in the deck.
Oh, dude, that would
Or
actually win the game.
yeah, although like I don't love it because it's kind of poor versus Archon of Cruelty, for example.
Against pretty much
But
anything.
if
You're
there
right.
is, ooh,
Ah, there it
wow, we
is.
left it in.
May still doing it in the year of 2023 here in Aron, Spain.
Wow, like what? Okay, not that. Then my question is like, what did Saul board out then?
Random
Okay.
shit.
Random shit.
That's what it says in the sideboard guide.
Yeah, the other three reclaimers probably. Yeah. All right.
I guess there's always like some one-offs or stuff you don't need. You can take
Uh,
drummer work excavator. You don't really want that. Um, I could even see like Sylvan Library. If you got like too much stuff that you actually want, then even though library is great, especially once it gets to like the mid game in this matchup, because your life total is usually not under pressure, but now it almost is. So
oh, oh,
you know what you want here? You want your second Voidwalker. Dark Ritual,
oh
second
yeah.
Voidwalker. Let's go, boys.
Oh yeah.
I would guess that's gonna be a Flex Stones, right? Yeah. No.
It,
Oh, well, actually, no. Yavimaya is awkward because you still want to use your mace for something else. I would guess that's going to be a Flex Dance, but Saul,
it could be. I also wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, Yavimaya also looks pretty nice. Oh well, does it? Because the maze gets tapped anyway every turn from now on.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you get Yavimaya, you get access to 3 mana. So maybe you want to do something for 3 mana in exchange for, taking that 3 point of damage
okay,
that you can still,
okay.
like, stomach. But yeah, Saul is just, like, going straight for the Savannah. And we will see what that's going to cast for him. Plateau. The artwork Kai doesn't like as much. And second
Okay.
Reclaimer. Dude,
Damn.
Reclaimer
Dude.
gamers.
A few more turns and so can start. Can even start attacking maybe. I guess that doesn't really do it because the those elves are always gonna be one twos versus the Ulti Voice Walker.
Mm. Oh yeah, Tuga Nexus in chat. Good point. The Flexon slash don't actually trigger because there's a Void Walker. They need to hit the graveyard to trigger, and yeah, they go straight into exile. So much smarter to actually get the Savannah right away. And of course,
Totally.
Raul already saw that. Like you noticed, right, how he stopped at flex downs at some point.
Oh
He was
yeah.
like, actually, no, that doesn't do what I wanted to do. Yeah. Saul, not too big of a fan of that plateau either. That one's gonna hit the bin. And at that point, it's actually getting kind of hard. Like, what do you even want here? I guess you can get Thespian Stage,
Yeah.
but like, in a way, you can force Carlos to sacrifice the Voidwalker. Because if you
Right.
end up going for the token, then Carlos has to crack the
And
Voidwalker and get the Caracas from exile.
yeah.
It's just like not
Man.
where you wanna be.
Yavimaya. Interesting.
Yeah.
Um. And like we are kind of acting as if the life depends on this Maze of Ith, right? But Saul can take a few hits. Like he can take 2 hits before he dies. There's no lightning bolt or anything that drains, I think, in Carlos deck. Um yeah,
He picked up a Scrapland now.
things look really, really nice for Saul. Like Carlos has to attempt to reanimate the Archon of Cruelty to make Saul go for a Bojuka Bark once. And since there's no second Bojuka Bark in Saul's deck, then he has to like do the very same thing again. Just
Yeah.
go for another Entomb for another reanimation spell. test if the maze is still online. You know, sometimes people take damage instead.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like Carlos can like do a ton of things actually, especially with the Lotus Petal in there as well. Like he's got the mana, he's got reanimation, he's got Faithless Looting, he got Unmask for protection.
Yeah,
You would think, why do I feel this bad if I got everything I want? It's like,
yeah,
yeah, because there's Reclaim on the
yeah.
other side and you're not beating that.
But yeah, he needs to he needs to
He
make
needs
Saul
Needle.
do it. Yeah, or
You
Needle would be an insane draw
could even
if
like
you
try
have
to
one.
needle the Maze of like it's funny in blue black reanimator. Needle was actually like a real card. Like when you think about it, you could needle Fairy Macabre, you could needle Tormod Script, you could needle Relic of
Oh, and
Progenitus.
Death Shaman too.
Yeah, you could needle Deathlight
Oh yeah.
Channel, true. Yeah, that's true.
Good.
But here, not so like in the last in blue black red reanimator, Needle is a very uncommon sideboard card. Yeah, Caracas is still available. Chat is asking, is there a way to reuse Bog? Yeah, you can. It's actually a thing that I've seen people do it rarely. You can wasteland your own Bog, or you can also just like sacrifice. Oh no, wait. Because we have the Void Walker, we can actually not do that. I was gonna say, and
Yep.
then you endurance it back, and then you get it back. Yeah, but Void Walker makes this tricky.
Yeah, if this was like more like a land stack, you could potentially see something like a Vesuva, for
I was
example.
gonna say
But I
Vesuva,
guess
yeah.
I guess you see that more often in cloud post decks maybe.
Yeah,
We
Cloud
got
Post
like
can do that.
Bog, and then you get another Bog, aka Vesuva.
You could try like reanimating your land and then bouncing it back to your hand somehow. Nissa Vital Force reanimates the land,
Oh man,
and
like
then we'll take it from
dude.
there.
Is Nissa your most favorite planeswalker?
It does then the most broken stuff for me
Okay,
ever.
yeah,
Yeah,
fair enough.
very
I
much
mean,
so.
it costs 5 mana. I bet it does broken stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. It ultimates on the turn. It comes like one turn after it comes into play,
Oh,
and the
nice.
ultimate is insanely
Yeah,
strong. I there are
me and
times.
Tezzeret have something in common then.
Yeah, the Tether is nothing on this side. Tether is just like whatever. Drain for 10, whatever, dudes, whatever. I sometimes had like 2 emblems of Nissa. That means one land draws me 2 cards. A fetch land draws me 4 cards.
Ooh, yeah, so
Talk about win more, but
yeah.
still. We also have to talk about like Saul actually has to finish the game at some point, right? He still hasn't done a lot of damage yet. Mm, I guess he's slowly building towards that with that thespian stage, but
Yeah.
he knows that Carlos can eventually like as soon as he actually threaten. Okay, this is actually interesting. So from what I understand, Voidwalker can't play the land at instant speed. That would be really weird. So Carlos has to almost like proactively crack the Voidwalker to try and get the Caracas in case he needs it. Then of course Saul can just like play around that by randomly getting wasteland, then killing it on the next turn. It's all so complicated, and I don't really see much. Like at some point, Carlos has to just like bite the bullet and force out the Buchuka Bog, and then basically restart the game from there with Buchuka Bog gone. Because if you keep like trying to find a way to beat the Buchuka Bog, you're not really doing that other like that Axiom N2 play we talked about.
Yeah.
And the longer we wait, the more unlikely it is for us that that's actually going to work as well. Because we already know Saul has also a lot of instant speed, 0 mana interaction. Okay, going for the reanimates. Oh, fight it's looting first, okay.
We need some fatties in the yard first, right?
I guess we still have to like force the reanimate somehow through or like play it. Because otherwise Saul can just like end of turn get Dark Depth, copy it, and make the token. So that's a problem. Oh, and Saul actually has a surgical. You saw that.
Oh
Saul
damn.
has a surgical, so
Good.
it's gonna be
Like if yeah, it's like
so
Salmas feels so safe in this game. The
yeah.
um
Double
oh,
interaction up.
yeah,
No, I like
also
that.
had a copy of Red Blast, I think. So to cover show and tell.
When you think about it, like Naya Depth, it has like all the nice places. Like I would love to hang out on the savannah. I mean, I already did, I would love to hang out like in the mountains, like of the taiga out there. I would love to be like at the plateau, have like the amazing view.
Yeah, I would
Do
like.
you want to be like in the scrubland in the Badlands?
Oh, I want to
I
be.
don't want to be in the bayou.
I want to be in that maze, maybe. I
Yeah,
like.
oh god. I think that kind of maze actually that makes you go crazy.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the kind of maze that makes you go crazy if you're stuck in there. I don't know what's going on to the Void Walker. It's still trying to like retain the last little bit of sanity it got, but it's been running into the maze like at least one or two too many times.
Oh man, I love this. Like, Carlos goes for like the unmask, and so like, can I check your graveyard just really quickly? So, like, doesn't really mean anything, but can I take a look? Like, what kind of fatties do you have? Damn, if I was a reanimator player, it's like, ugh.
So you're probably gonna fire off the surgical here, right?
Um, yeah, I think I would, yeah.
What are you gonna go for here?
And Saul really only has to survive this turn because end of turn, the reclaimer can get a dark depths, and the testbin stage can already copy it, make a 2020, and win the game. So yeah,
Yeah, but that's why we were saying, right? You need to force the reanimate. You need to play the reanimate, so we force Saul to get the Buchuka block, in which case then he doesn't have enough mana to make the token at the end of turn. So whatever happens, Carlos either needs to crack that Void Walker to make Caracas, or he needs to play reanimate. So
yeah.
that's Saul is gonna be forced.
I do believe that the one land on the bottom that is the Bojuka Bog. That's like the Lord of Rings Bojuka Bog.
Oh,
I believe.
oh, that changes like
And that's why there's no
you're getting
graveyard,
that's
right?
a Buchuka block. Oh my god, casters all around the world. Please, we need some kind of I don't know union so people stops printing like cards with all the different artworks.
I think that's what it is.
Oh my god. Serenity, interesting. Do you hear like this church music now? There's some music coming from behind there. Anyway, it's gone now.
Yeah. All Connors can do here is like praying.
So we're setting the theme.
Anyway.
I don't know which kind of music production is playing. Maybe actually they're playing like the craziest music here in the background.
Yeah, I know, like scratch that.
Yeah. Okay, now finally Unmasked on Resolve gonna take out the Red Blast. And it's the Buchuka Bog gun. Like that really changes a lot for me. Like all of a sudden, we can actually get our reanimation spell off. And like, what else is there to get with the reclamation stage? Like, I was constantly thinking, okay, now the Buchuka box is gonna come, and then we have to trade for that. But no, isn't this actually like good for Carlos now?
Yeah, it's
You named creature here.
yeah. So this is Sarah's emissary.
Emissary, yeah.
Yeah, comes
You name a card type, and you and I think also all of your opponents have protection from that card type. So it's most likely that we are gonna name creature here. And so what Saul needs to draw is like any kind of removal spell. Ideally, like Swords of Plowshares. I don't think any
yeah.
of the other ones are
And
gonna run for
Caracas
him.
is not gonna do it. Like Caracas is gone anyways. But
How did that Buchuko bug end up there?
um
Did we actually like use it early on and I didn't notice?
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Think so.
Oh, maybe it was maybe. Oh, it could have been like just a main phase play. Yeah. Okay.
But man, this is rough. This is rough. Cause like the maze now has to do like double duty. I guess you can copy the maze and have like double maze versus both the angel and
Okay.
Ultimate Void Walker and kind of delay the game because Carlos is completely out of gas, right? And
For now.
yeah, for now, like eventually you can also like wasteland the Badlands if you want to. Um, and by the look at it,
Yeah, we're making two
Saul
here.
might have like a Soul to Plowshares or two still left in the deck. Just needs to find
Oh, we're
needs
not
to find a way
cutting.
to deal with that.
You're not cutting the deck. Oh, come on, let's do it. Not saying that's all. Like it's just like a general thing you should be doing against like any spot. But okay, let's see. So the reclaimer still small as can be, right next to a big giant 2020. Doesn't really matter. Huh. I mean, there's also like stuff that's Carlos could be playing from Saul's Exile. Is there anything interesting in there? I didn't really see something, right?
Like this makes me thinking like was it really correct for Saul to surgical the Atraxa and not the Ceres Emissary?
Ah, yeah,
Like
this is
the
yeah.
Atraxa is like what is it like a 7/7 death touch? Death touch doesn't matter. Life
Like,
linker and
I
it,
think it's
it,
like
it
the
gets Carlos like
four extra cards or something that
yeah
you get.
it gives them 4 extra cards.
Outland Liberator, okay.
No, this is a tough question. Like what do you think, chat?
So what are your odds? Like we already talked about Source to Plowshares. Is there anything else that really matters that you can get here against the Emissary? Dude, this almost feels like Legacy like 10, 15 years ago when people would get like Iona and the game was literally just over unless you had Caracas. Oh, we are actually casting something from extra. Okay. Loving it. What is it gonna be? Wasteland? Oh, and we're doing this proactively, right? There's
Oh.
no there's no Thespian stage. That one got sacrificed because we made the token. Yeah, this one. I want this one. Cheat sheet. Wow. Okay, Carlos,
Wow.
after spending like 7 turns without a land, still takes the game.
Damn.
What is this?
Wow.
That was masterfully played. I love that.
I still can't believe that Carlos took down this game.
mm.
Yeah, that was a really sweet play. Like if you're a reanimator player, usually you are used to do your combo and discard counters and all this regular stuff, right? But this was like a super late game thing. And Doughty stealing that wasteland was insane. I didn't even think about it.
So I'm wondering, for the last game, is Carlos actually going to take out all of his lands? It's just going to be like, I only really need like one land in the entire deck. I can draw it. Otherwise, I'm going to have like those Lotus Petals. Who needs lands
Yeah,
anyway? Just go
man,
Lotus Petal, Dark Ritual, get there.
dude,
Easy game.
like I could have bet money on Saul. Like I really shouldn't, but I was. It looked so promising. Like everything Saul did, until the last turn, basically.
Mm, I would say until he drew
Yeah,
Pachuca Bog.
Doughty was
Like drawing
insane this
Pachuca
game.
Bog was the big problem.
Yeah.
Looks like he actually drew it. Otherwise, he could have gone for it.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
That's why I was constantly like on Saul's side. I was thinking, okay, like he's got
Right.
two pieces of interaction lined up, and like at some point you guys were pointing out, no wait, Pachuca Bog is already in play. Like, oh, this card, oh well, that changes everything. Okay, what do we have on the Carlos side here? Well, that's horrible, right? On Saul. Saul, no
Yeah.
relevant piece of interaction.
Um.
These opening hands from Reanimator, they always look kind of decent, right? You got this discard,
Yeah,
you got
dude.
Faithless Looting.
Maybe the deck is decent.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Funny enough, though, when you look at the data collection stuff from Magic Online, it always underperforms. Like it's all like almost every single challenge, it's like under 50% in win percentage, but you always have somebody at the top. It's probably like one of the most played decks, so you just get there by volume. But the win percentage is constantly like, I don't know, 54%, 56%, 46%, I mean 45%. It never really performs crazy well, but it's so popular, and I guess you also can like grind through leagues really fast. That's really popular there as well. Yeah. I liked it a little bit more, when it had like the crazy sideboard plan with like 2 copies of Lake of the Dead, and then Lake of the Dead for like a couple of months became really expensive, and they would like hardcast Grave Titan and stuff. Now they're a little bit more down to earth, like more dedicated to their proper plan with like some show and tells. Yeah, it's still good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chris Collar is asking, what is actually the play because he didn't see the play. So the thing that broke the game for Saul was he had active reclaimers, but he drew Bochuka Bog and he played Bochuka Bog. That all of a sudden made it so that his only piece of interaction was surgical extraction. So at some point, Carlos actually had enough critical mass to discard the surgical extraction, while still like having a couple of creatures in the graveyard. Saul decided to take out the Atraxa with the surgical in response, leaving Carlos with the Sarah's emissary. Carlos was then able to like drop a land. I think he might have actually gone for a Dark Ritual, I don't remember, and reanimate the Sarah's emissary. named creature. So the tokens actually didn't the token that Saul then made didn't do anything for him. He had like a 20/20, but that couldn't really like deal any kind of damage to him. And then eventually Carlos used the Void Walker to play Wasteland from Exile, like Saul's Wasteland from Exile, to take out the Maze of It that was holding back the Sarah's Emissary. And Sarah's Emissary, since it had protection from creatures, could just get in and kill him. And Saul knew there was nothing he could really do about that. So pretty well played, like heads up play for Carlos. Like he figured out, he navigated his way to a victory there, but it was like looking really bad for him. So both players keeping. No turn one play from Saul. And Carlos still trying to figure out what he wants to do. Is it going to be like a turn one Faithless Looting? Is it going to be an Unmask? I never really hate Unmask on the first turn. It really shows you what you're working with, like which kind of hate you have to beat, what like the bottleneck for your opponent potentially is going to be, whether you can fetch for like a dual land. Yeah.
And the cat is out of the bag. It's
that crop rotation
it's
couldn't be
just a
going
crop
any faster.
rotation. That's it.
That's another card I absolutely love in foil, when you get like foil copies of crop rotation. I mean, if Saul wins this tournament, he can easily buy one of those.
Oh yeah.
I say that now, but I have no idea like how expensive Urza's Legacy foils actually are. Okay, writing down all the 3 remaining cards in Saul's hand. This is the final game, right? This decides who's going to move on to the finals of Impact Returns 2023 with a shot at 3 Underground Seas, as well as 2 Tundras for the loser of the finals.
Yeah. And even if you lose this game, you know, you go home with a Bayou, which is still like maybe the best non-blue dual land.
Yeah.
Or like let's say like the most popular dual land maybe. I mean, yeah, it has a lot of good competitors. A lot of people always like Tiger, for example.
Yeah, Tiger. I mean, Tiger used to be the best non-blue dual land when we had like red-green survival advantage and all that stuff, like 2007, 8.
Yeah.
But it really fell off a cliff. Like when I started playing, the 2 worst dual lands were like Badlands and Scrubland. It's funny because it's like Badlands and Scrubland.
Okay.
I think, but it's actually between Badlands and Bayou for the best non-blue dual land.
I can get behind that. Yeah, how about this turn 1? We got the fatties ready, and Salt shields are down. Like he has a Sword to Plowshares.
The thing is, if you can reanimate something, what do you reanimate and what do you name? I mean, you can name the emissary, get the emissary, and name instant. But never mind, we're actually also taking out the Swords to Plowshares. I think we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh man, this is so close. Oh.
I mean, you can just get there if you got reanimation right now. Yeah.
Oh,
reanimate the Archon, and that's I don't want to say it's probably gonna do it. Saul can always like randomly top deck a removal spell, but looks very good for Carlos right now. Saul has to discard his last card, one of his last 2 cards.
Yeah.
I guess it's
it's a little late for the endurance. Let's see how many Swords to Plowshares Saul got left in his deck. Again, like a Maze of Ith, not as exciting since the attack triggers still happen.
Yeah. Watch him draw Maze now. Oh. So we do have Thespian Stage as one of the cards. If Carlos gains enough life, he can even like survive a swing of Marred Large.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, and it's like Carlos does have a 2-turn clock. This is every attack is 9 points of life loss basically for Saul. It's 6 on attack and 3 with the trigger. So then Saul has really just 1 more draw step, and this game is probably the fastest game of all 3, because like the Reanimator deck does its thing for the very first time, completely undisrupted.
Yeah, at this point, Saul can only really pray for like something crazy from top. Also, like Carlos keeps drawing cards, right?
Yeah.
The Archon is just gonna give you more cards. So even if you end up finding that Saul supply chest for the Archon, we're still only like halfway. Not halfway. We're 10% of the way there because Carlos probably got something else lined up soon afterwards. He can also flashback the Faithless Looting to dig even deeper into a library. And Saul, this is classically a case of probably like library thing because you might as well you're like the 1 point of life in this case actually doesn't make a difference. We're gonna die in 2 swings either way. Oh, crop rotation? Oh, we're copying. No, oh, it's crop rotation. Oh,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, it's I guess dark depth, and then you try to take the hit. So what you need is another crop rotation next turn. I mean, you could also draw Yayumaya. Crop rotation would also do it. One of those cards you want to draw. Crop rotation or Yavimaya. I guess any other land also does. Okay, actually you have more outs
Oh.
because the attack on the Archon is gonna take Carlos to 19, and then you crack back for lethal. But Carlos still can do stuff, right? Carlos is like, okay, he doesn't actually do anything. But he's still got one more turn to try and add a creature to the board. And Saul finds that
Oh,
land.
wow. Hold on.
Whoa.
Hold on.
So what Carlos wants to do is to find anything, like find a blocker, find I don't know. You got to do something because right now you're losing on board. Yarkon takes you to 18.
This is an interesting game three. I didn't see this coming from South side. Yeah.
You saw he really needed that crop rotation. He was playing towards us out there, right? He already had the thespian stage, and he figured, okay, the only way I can really win this is if I make the token before Carlos kills me or goes to like 21 life. And he found that crop rotation, and he now found the land that he needs for the activation. And now it's on Carlos. Carlos just needs to make like any kind of creature that can still block. And then I guess also hope that Saul doesn't find like another crop rotation or Security Step. But I mean, at that point, you already assume that there's nothing like that. So Carlos, what is it gonna be? Show and tell? No. It looks like he wants to go for show and tell. Is there anything he can show and tell in? Is that a Truckster?
Oh, that might be
That's
insane.
Truckster.
Oh, that is insane.
Oh,
That is insane.
still,
Okay.
Saul could find the cherry step. Saul could find crop rotation. Is there anything else that he could find? I'm curious. Wait, what's? Oh yeah, I guess that works as well. Oh yeah, actually, what that works. You let the trigger happen, and then you ambush. Of course,
Wait.
yeah, that's actually
So I was gonna say like any reanimation spell does it because the Archon comes back and triggers again. But we can also do it this way,
okay. Now, yeah, you mentioned like any
right?
reanimation spell, right?
Any reanimation spell on Archon, that's not only is it a flyer, but it also gets rid of
There's
the
enough
Merit
mana of
Lage and
class that we, and it looks like there's an axiom.
ay 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 ay.
I think the axiom should do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, Saul did his thing, right? But
So I guess we were actually because I wanted to make the token at the end of turn to basically avoid that scenario. But seeing that Saul is only at 4, it looks like he actually had to block the Archon, right?
oh, he
So
had to,
yeah,
yeah.
there was no way that you could just like let the Archon connect and then do your thing at the end step. Yeah, Carlos probably pretty happy about this. He already has like perfect information, right? Saul is tapped out. You're gonna tap out the token, and then there's gonna be utter destruction following soon after. Oh, we're even going into Dark Ritual? Okay. Axiom? What's that? You get Endurance back. Taking out that graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of funny though, right? Because you get the Endurance back. That one. Okay, help me out. Why did the Endurance die there?
The endurance got discarded.
No, it came into play from the Axiom.
Oh yeah, and then we had an Archon trigger.
Why?
What do you mean? Like the Archon came into play, and
Oh,
Saul had to
you
Saul had to
okay, yeah,
sacrifice a
yeah, no,
creature.
you got me. Yeah, the Archon. Okay, okay, you got the ambush Archon came back.
Yeah,
Yeah, we talk,
man.
and yeah, that's it.
Holy
That's it.
smokes. Yeah, that
Carlos moves on to the finals. We don't know
pretty
who's gonna be his opponent, but that was actually a lot
pretty
more exciting.
impressive. And yeah, and like, damn, I thought that would have been like a easy like 2-0 for the depth stack. Um, but yeah, the second game, I'm still like blown out by that wasteland play.
Okay,
Carlos, congratulations and welcome to the finals. I think.
still in the running for those 3 underground seas.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So let's actually check out what there's to win. People, show us the sponsors, show us everybody who's making this happen. Because Impact Returns, I can only say it again and again over the last 2 days. First time casting event from Spain, and I'm absolutely overwhelmed with what the community is putting out there. This is the second biggest legacy tournament of the year in Europe, and people are coming from like all over the world, all over Europe at least, to attend this. I know that next time there's going to be a lot more players from our home country, from Germany. We know the Italians want to come. There's going to be a lot of French people. We are easily going to make this a 200 plus player
Oh
event,
yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah. So shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to the city of Naron, who's giving us this venue, who's allowing all of these, like seriously, as I want to say, like dozens of volunteers making all of this happen. Shout outs to Eldritch Gate. Shout outs to Willy Bizarre, Card Market, Ultimate Guard, Everyday Channel.
Ooh,
Did we actually name all of the sponsors?
I hopefully yeah.
Hopefully. Okay. I guess that works. And yeah, also shout outs to everybody here in the community, and give us a follow here as the finals is coming up. This is the last legacy match of the weekend here.